Senate, Bruins. My name is Daniel Mathy, and I'm running to be your Vice President. I'd like to start off my speech with some words of wisdom from my go-to source of inspiration, Master Yoda. Named must your fear be, before banish it you can. Now I'm no Luke Skywalker, but I think this is some pretty great advice. So I'm gonna name my fear. I'm pretty scared to do this speech, which is funny, knowing that I speak in front of you all every single day, and in front of the whole student body every Monday and Wednesday on the morning announcements. I understand that, well, I think that this is just because I'm so passionate about this upcoming election, and I care so much about this speech. I've been practicing for about 3 hours a night, knowing that the next 5 minutes could be the most crucial 5 minutes of my high school career. I understand that the position of Vice President can be demanding, yet I am up to the task. In my 3 years of Senate, I've experienced Senate from all different perspectives. From the perspective of a senator my freshman year, class president my sophomore year, and now an exec board member being student body activities coordinator. However, I think that the strongest aspect of my leadership that I've developed is my connection with my fellow senators. This all began my freshman year when all the seniors and upperclassmen reached out to make sure that I could get a ride or some advice whenever I needed. I hope that I can be this confidant and friend to everyone in Senate, and I hope that all of you can think of a time when I reached out and made a personal connection. I also bring this inclusive atmosphere into the classroom as well in our Spirit Committee meetings, which I look forward to every week, although it's such a simple task, just making posters. And we've made some of the best posters that have ever come out of activities. I really think that this experienced leadership can be beneficial in Senate next year, being a transition year with Dr. K leaving. I've been in Senate for 3 years, like I mentioned, and I've been on the exec board for 1 year, and I really know a thing or two about Senate with all the events that I've attended. Now, many of you know that community service is what Vice President is in charge of here in Senate, and for me, there are 3 main communities that we serve: the Senate community, our Creek community, and the surrounding Greenwood Village community. When I was thinking of ways to serve the Senate community, I decided to turn to something I've never done before and read the Senate Constitution. In the Senate Constitution, I found that Vice President is tasked with meeting with class presidents once a month to make sure everything is running smoothly. This is something I plan on doing and want to start in the first couple weeks of school to really bridge the gap between classes. And again, when I was brainstorming Creek community, ways to help the Creek community, I once again turned to the Senate Constitution, where I found that Vice President should attend monthly school board meetings. This is something that I think would be incredibly beneficial for Creek, not only to figure out what our school can be doing better from other schools, but also to learn from what the greater problems of the district are and how we as Senate and Creek can help with these. A couple other ideas I have to help the Creek community is to fill and deliver backpacks of necessities to students in need at Creek, which is something we discussed this year but never really got into place. And I think this can just be a great way to see Senate really making an impact. I also think that there's an underrepresented group of people at Creek when it comes to community service, and that's faculty and staff. A simple way to help out teachers would just to have a Teacher of the Month program that highlights any teacher going above and beyond every single day. I'm incredibly involved at Creek. I'm in many clubs and organizations, many of which are service-based, and I know that there are so many service-based organizations here, whether it's MSA, Spectrum, Theater, or FBLA. All these clubs are doing community service, and I think as Vice President, it would be my job to link these clubs up to not only expand each club's outreach, but also to make community service more efficient and enjoyable. For the surrounding Greenwood Village area, some community service events that I would like to keep from last year are Kate Gaines' Easter egg hunt, which we all have fun with, and of course, Hell Bags of Fun whenever they need. However, I have some activities and community service opportunities that I think we should start and pick up on, such as volunteering at a food bank, making tie blankets for newborns, or going to retirement homes and teaching tech skills to the elderly. However, I'm no expert on community service right now, and I think that there's so many ideas with the 45 of us. So I would love, in the first couple weeks of school, just to sit down and have a brainstorm session with all of Senate to really come up with the best creative, most effective community service opportunities. I'd like to wrap up my speech with some much-deserved thank yous. First of all, to Dr. K, speaking on behalf of not only Senate, but all of Creek, thank you for all you've done for us, and we're really gonna miss you in IC 715. But you know We know you're going to go do great things. Next to the seniors, Ms. Veronica and Dr. K, for giving me this opportunity. There are so many great candidates in this room, and it's truly an honor to be chosen to run for such an important position. Next to Sawyer. You have set the bar so high for this position, and you've been a great friend to me since my freshman year. Go Card. And of course, to my opponent, Coco. She has been one of my best friends in Senate, and no matter the outcome of this election, VP is in good hands. So as you watch this speech, you all have a very difficult decision to make. In front of you, you just heard from two qualified, passionate candidates, and I hope that you think long and hard about who you're going to cast your ballot for before you vote, and it's not a rushed decision. However, I ask that you vote for me, Daniel Mathy, for Student Body Vice President. Thank you.
As you know, Ms. Devitt will be the new Activities Director next year. What steps will you take to ensure that this transition goes smoothly within Senate and within your position specifically?
So I actually talked to Ms. Devitt the other day at the soccer game, and she said something about how she wished that everyone in Senate would just email her a picture of their face. So I thought I could really make this happen with just having a Google form, and as soon as we find out the next Senate roster, send everyone this Google form and have them just fill out their name, a picture of them, some information about them, as well as grade and position in Senate, just so it's like she knows everyone before she even gets to meet us.
If you're elected as Vice President, how will you use this position to improve the culture at Creek through Senate's community service?
So like I mentioned in my speech, there's so many service-based organizations here, and so many people in Creek are involved in at least one of these. So I think that just collaborating with Senate and another organization, or even just these other organizations on their own, this would just be a great way for people to get to know each other through community service and just overall improve the spirit and culture of Creek.
Thank you.
Thank you.